Hello everybody, I am Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and welcome to What I Watched This Week and the second week of the 100 Anime in 1 Month Challenge. Let's get right into it. I started with She and Her Cat. This is made in like the 90s, I think, by Makoto Shinkai. I think he voiced the cat too. Mostly it's just a monologue about a cat and its relationship with its owner. It's alright. Then I watched She and Her Cat, Everything Flows. This is in no way the same thing. It was made like 2 decades later, had way higher production value. Still Makoto Shinkai, though. It acts kind of like a prequel to it because it's about her like original cat that dies, and then it's implied that it gets reincarnated into the cat from the first one. I liked it better because it portrays the girl a bit more. I feel like it adds to their relationship and the story in general. Then I watched every single Ghibli movie, with the exception of Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and My Neighbor Totoro, because I had already seen them. Okay, Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky is probably Ghibli's second best movie, just structurally, but it went on too long for my taste, and I kind of lost all interest, and also the characters are kind of flat. Grave of the Fireflies had a really good atmosphere, but the offhanded way it treats the characters' deaths just kind of makes them lose all impact. Okay, Kiki's Delivery Service is probably my favorite Ghibli movie. It's about this little witch who has to leave home at like 13 to finish her magic training, and she gets into a bunch of shenanigans as she starts up her own delivery service. The conflicts felt earned, and the characters were likable. So, it was just a fun movie. Only Yesterday. Yeah, I hated Only Yesterday. Holy shit. The entire movie, it's about this, like, old middle-aged woman. Well, I guess she's not old, she's middle-aged. Having, like, these, like, flashbacks to her 4th grade self, I think, throughout the entire time, while she has decided to leave, like, her office job and work on a farm picking flowers or some shit. There is not a moment watching this movie where I was not either bored, uncomfortable, or angry. It was totally a negative experience from start to finish. I hated this fucking movie. Porco Rosso is about a man that got turned into a pig somehow, and I think it had something to do with all the planes going to have. Look, it's about a man that got turned into a pig, and he's retired. Damn it! Well, he's not really retired. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, he's like this veteran pilot, and then he has to get a new plane. Most of the movie's him making a fucking plane. Let's be honest. It was not great. It's fucking, although I will say the opening scene with the little girls getting kidnapped by pirates is pretty great. It's like, that was a good part. The rest of the movie fucking sucked. Oh yeah, The Ocean Waves. Okay, this was made, most people probably haven't heard of this one. This one was made because Ghibli was trying to make, like, TV anime, or something. I think it was TV anime. They were trying to make, like, low-budget anime that they could quickly put out. I can see why it didn't catch on, because The Ocean Waves was a fucking train wreck. See, it was a romance story where the heroine was completely unlikable and had no redeeming features, and then the romance plot at the end, where the guy realizes he loves her, was so unearned that if he was like, man, I realized I really hated her, I would have thought that was more believable. Like, if at the end of the movie he sees her and he just punched her in the face, first off, it would have been a better movie. Second off, I would have believed it more, because their relationship, you see every conversation, and they hate each other in all of them. Make no sense that they got together. It's fucking, well, I guess I don't know if they got together. It made no sense that they liked each other. It was stupid. Okay, Ponpoko. Yeah, this came off like a documentary about, like, magical raccoons. Like, I don't know what to call it, the parade, as they said. It was reminiscent of the Hyakuagyo, the night parade of 100 demons, or is it 1,000? It's a number of demons. Look it up. You fucking do some research. That went on for a little long. Like, there was a 5-minute clip dedicated to 2 drunk guys in a bar. That was unnecessary. And at the end, the raccoon, like, turns to you with the camera, and he gives you a speech about protecting forests. It's fucking ridiculous. But other than that, if they trimmed some of the stupid bullshit out of this movie, it would have been better. But honestly, it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked the documentary style they decided to go with. I think it was intended that way. That's how it came off. Whisper of the Heart. Yeah, this movie had excellent directing. The best directing I've seen of any Ghibli film. And some of the best directing I've seen in any anime. And that is because it was not directed by Miyazaki or Takahata. It was directed by, I think his name is Yoshifumi, something like that. Don't quote me on that. He was fucking excellent. The movie was a treat to watch. It was about, like, a romance between this guy who makes violins and this girl who wants to be a writer, and she writes a story called Whisper of the Heart. It was really good, and it was a fucking treat to look at. Unfortunately, the director of this movie died in 1998, so I won't get to enjoy any more of his movies. But, yeah, Whisper of the Heart was good. My Neighbor the Yamadas is a fucking baffling movie because it's an adaptation of some strange, like, 4-koma manga I've never heard of, and I don't think anyone else has ever heard of, and I don't know why this movie was made. It wasn't a particularly interesting movie, either. It was just, like, this quirky family that are kind of assholes to each other. Although I will say that there's, like a through line through the movie, that although they're assholes to each other in, like, every fucking scene, you can tell they care about each other. Which, I mean, is good, I guess. They got that point across. But the movie itself was not great. The Cat Returns. Yeah, I liked The Cat Returns. I see it get a lot of a bad rap, but I also see most Ghibli movies get way better, like, praise than I am willing to give them. So I'm clearly not the standard Ghibli audience. If anything, this is about a girl who speaks to cats, and then she gets pulled in, and they try and make her marry the cat prince into the cat kingdom, and then she gets rescued by the Baron from Whisper of the Heart. Supposedly there's no connection between The Cat Returns and Whisper of the Heart, but I like to think that The Cat Returns is the completed version of the story Whisper of the Heart from the movie Whisper of the Heart. There's no real evidence to support that, but that's my headcanon, damn it. So fuck you. Yeah, it was a good movie. If anything, it was actually too short, and that's the only time I will ever say that about any Disney. I keep saying Disney. I think it's because Disney's the licensors. Any Ghibli movie, or because Disney and Ghibli are almost indistinguishable. Yeah, I think it's a bit too short. It was by far the shortest. It was like an hour 10. Actually, it's longer than Ocean Waves, I think, but fuck Ocean Waves. So, but it was originally like a 20-minute thing, so that makes sense. Howl's Moving Castle was a decent enough movie. I really liked the way it portrayed magic, but the ending was complete and utter bullshit. Just fucking, like, it shat itself at, like, the last 10 or 20 minutes. Also, it was, like, too long. Like, they could have cut the entire middle sequence about the hat shop in. It didn't add anything to the film. It didn't need to be there. Just kick it the fuck out and just end on the chase scene. What the fuck's... Jesus Christ. Ghibli needs a better editor. Yeah, okay, Tales from Earthsea. Yeah, this was directed by Goro Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki's son. Most Ghibli movies have, like, 1 or 2 big problems with them that just ruins the whole thing. Tales from Earthsea had, like, 100 of smaller problems that just stack on top of each other. This movie was a fucking mess, and he had no business directing this. And that's not just me saying that. Miyazaki himself, it was also like, man, my son should not have directed this movie. So, yeah. Yeah, Ponyo was about a fish girl that becomes a human. Sigh. It's kind of good. I don't know. Secret World of Arrietty was interesting, like, adventure experience about tiny people living in a house, but the ending was totally lackluster. In fact, I think the ending being lackluster is kind of a theme with this director, as we'll talk about from the next movie he did. Yeah. So I'll talk about that later. From Up on Poppy Hill had some of the most cliched, artificial, fucking contrived bullshit I've ever seen in its writing. It's fucking crazy how stupid this movie was, and it's kind of odd that I kind of liked it, despite how fucking terrible rewritten it was. The Wind Rises, I think, is more from an objective standpoint Ghibli's best film, in that I can't... Like, the only thing I can say that was kind of a flaw to the movie was that the earthquake looked fucking ridiculous, but that's such a nitpick that even I realize it's a bullshit complaint. So The Wind Rises, on a technical level, was astounding. I might even be obliged to call it a masterpiece. But it's also about building planes, and I didn't give a fuck about planes. So the movie didn't do much for me, but on a technical level, great movie. Yeah, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Okay, yeah, fuck this movie. See, I'm a big fan of the original source material, the Tokitori Monogatari. And wow, this movie really just shat over its source material. Like, it just took a big dump on it. This movie, honestly, if I didn't like The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter so much, I think I probably would have just thought this movie was mediocre. But I do, so fuck it. Fuck this movie. It's a piece of shit. When Marnie Was There is a confused, contrived bullshit of a mess with fucking... No, that's it. That's all there is to say about it. It's about this, like, socially reclusive girl that meets, like, a ghost of her... you know what? You watch the movie, I guess, if you care. I'm not gonna spoil it, just because I didn't think it was a very good movie. But, yeah. It wasn't a very good movie. It was also the latest Ghibli movie. There's supposed to be a next one that comes out in 2021, so I guess I'll have to watch that, but... And then I finished off with Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. Yeah, Nausicaa was, the characters sucked and the story sucked, but the artwork was absolutely beautiful and the setting was fascinating. So I'd actually recommend this movie to people just to look at. Just look at this movie. It's fucking gorgeous. I also had this weird experience at the end of the movie where it felt like I'd seen just the ending and not at any other point in the movie. And I also don't remember sitting down to watch this movie. So I think it's actually more likely that I've just seen the, like, final 10 minutes of this than I have seen the actual movie. I know it's a bit dubious to count it as part of the 100 anime because of this, but fuck you, it's my list and I'm counting it. And yeah, so that's what I watched this week. This video is long as shit. I wanted to finish off with Makoto Shinkai's Children Who Chase Lost Voices, but Daylight Savings Time fucked me over and I didn't get the time to. So I guess stay tuned for next week, and I'll talk about that one, because it's what I'm probably watch next. Anyway, I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and this has been... shouting through the chorus, actually. I'm not wrong. This has been what I watched this week during the 100 anime in 1 month challenge, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.